the Ring Fanatics Podcast, episode number 57. I am Nick, your host. With me is Joelle. Gina couldn't make it on this week, but she'll be back next week to come on. Today, we're still joined by a third guest today. He was a former guest. He came on earlier this year. He is now coming back to help us out with full gear predictions. Please welcome our good friend, Matt Fanizza. What's up, man?
Yo, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on the Ring Fanatics Podcast. Yo, I'm so glad that this time around in Full Gear, I'm able to make it because last year I was supposed to do it and I had COVID, and I was like, guys, I tapped out 1, 2, 3. I can't make it. So this year I'm back, and I'm glad to be here.
It all came out in full circle.
We made it this year, baby.
Yeah, long-term storytelling. That's what
long-term storytelling. COVID turned heel, and then now you're here.
Yeah.
So same thing as always, all our pay-per-views. I had the card right in front of me. Go down match by match, give our thoughts, predictions of who's winning the match. To start it off from the list, the 6-man, is it a Falls Count Anywhere match? Super Click versus Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. Since Matt, you're our guest, we'll start off with you. What are your thoughts on this match? Who do you got winning? Does it excite you at all? Are you hyped?
It's pretty exciting. I mean, I do like as of today, Wednesday, the Wednesday before Full Gear, the kind of storytelling that transpired. After the Jungle Boy match with Bobby Fish coming out and the backstage with the Young Bucks and Adam Cole and things like that. So it's kind of building up storylines between Adam Cole and Bobby Fish and the Young Bucks, kind of transpiring with that. But it's also showing a little bit of like Adam Cole poking at Jungle Boy. So I am pretty interested in the match. In terms of who's winning that 6-man tag team, I do think Jungle Boy might take the pin from Adam Cole in some weird fashion. I think there might be something down there that Jungle Boy doesn't take a clean pin from Adam Cole, and then in a later date, the two of them kind of have a singles match for one winner takes all or something like that. I do think there's a lot of unfinished business between the two, so I think that's what will transpire with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other way around. I was gonna say Jungle Boy pins Adam Cole, and then that's where how would I describe him? Like not his arrogance, more like his that should have won. That was a fluke pin, stuff like that. Start being cocky and shit. And then just all of a sudden be like, oh, I want to rematch me and you 1-on-1. Then it continues on from there. Because I think, especially since it's Full Gear, obviously, I think they're going to give Jungle Boy some type of a spotlight instead of just getting pinned. I think it was, what was it? Double or Nothing where he won the Battle Royal? Or was it Revolution?
It was Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because that was the first show, like, in front of the crowd.
Yes. So, yeah, I was going to say, like, he won that Battle Royal, had his title match, and kind of, like, stayed in that momentum of like how his popularity and stuff like that. So I don't think he'll get the pin. What are your thoughts, Joel, on this? How do you like this?
I think I like what Matt said about Adam Cole pinning Jungle Boy, but I think Jungle Boy is getting a quick pin, a roll-up pin on Adam Cole so that he can say, you didn't really beat me. That was a quick pin. It was a quick count. Because you got to remember, this is a rematch from the Queen show.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, that was a phenomenal match. So I can't wait for the rematch. But I think now Jungle Boy needs this win. But I could see him taking another pin and then getting that big one-on-one pinfall against Adam Cole. And maybe they're waiting for that one-on-one to get the pinfall.
Yeah,
I could see it go either way.
Yeah,
but my heart's telling me the roll-up, the quick roll-up.
I think we could both agree that it's going to be some type of pin where it's not clean.
Yes.
It's going to be whoever.
Either way.
Either way.
So we were there for that Arthur Ashe show, but then I completely forgot about that. They had a Rampage match. So I think the Super Click was the one that beat them.
Right.
Yeah,
you're right.
It was literally the exact same match. So I forgot about that until you brought it up, and I think the Super Click was the one that beat them. The one that won the match. So I think it would be like a one-on-one.
Maybe it's time for the.
Yeah, it's tied, and then maybe they settle it one more match. I was thinking sort of like a blood and guts. I don't know if that would be too soon. For that type of match, I don't know.
I just kind of this six-man tag team. The Bucks are really sneaky, and now they added Bobby Fish into the fray. Like Bobby Fish could just come out and do something to Jungle Boy, kick him. You know what I'm saying? Because now they got that fourth number. So like,
yeah,
that is
I just
true.
to me, I feel like that's something that might happen. Because Bobby Fish is pretty hot right now. He's got to make an appearance at the pay-per-view some way or another.
And they didn't just show him tonight just for nothing.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was a point. It was a point behind that.
Yeah, because I think they needed. I don't know if he's going to be a part. I feel like he's going to be a new member of the elite, the super elite. But that whole situation. Now they're not partnering with Impact. Now Good Brother's not with them anymore, so it's kind of weird not having those two extra guys with them that were always accompanying them to the ring. But yeah, you got Nakazawa, Cutler, but they're like not really that important to the group. So I would love the fact that if Bobby Fish joined them, be that fourth guy, maybe team with Adam Cole. I don't know, maybe be like reunite
the Undisputed Elite.
I
mean,
the Elite Era. The Elite Era.
I don't know. The Young Bucks made it clear there will be no dispute.
Yeah.
And
quick shout out to Kyle O'Reilly.
I was gonna say I love that they're doing this, especially with the rumors just floating around, just to play into it that you just want to see Cole and Red Dragon versus Kenny and the Bucks. That's just sprinkling the seeds. They want you to be asking for it.
I think the seeds were already started sprinkling once Bobby Fish got there, and I'm like,
definitely.
Even though, like, who knows? I mean, I know Roderick is a champion there. Kyle O'Reilly is still there. I don't know when they're leaving. That's still unknown. But I think.
But if you remember, Roderick was an add-on. The original Undisputed Era was 3 men.
That is true.
3-man group.
Yeah, that is true.
He's doing his thing with the Diamond Mine, which it's working for him.
Yeah.
But he's chilling. Kyle O'Reilly, I don't know where he's at. Ever since the colors changed, I haven't seen him. Let's just say that.
He's with that Wagner guy, that tall guy that he's always with. Even just better. Being there, even better. Even better. What did they got from there? So who do you think? You said Joel, you got the Super Click with the role. I got Jungle
Jurassic.
Boy.
Yeah, I got
with
Jungle
the sneaky
Boy.
pin.
Yep, Jurassic Express.
That was that moment. Kenny Omega's not in the match. So it would have been at the moment where he couldn't pick him up, Luchasaurus, and then he dropped the Powerbomb.
Yes.
Then I forgot. I have a feeling he might do some shit like that, like during the match, like, let's pick him up, and then they all drop him or something through a table. I don't know.
I think this is a match. Like, you know how you always want to kick off the show with like a great match. I think this is the match. They could do it with. I don't know if they will, because of course you also have Miro. Like, there's so many matches happening that any of them could really kick it off and it'll start off on the right foot.
Like because I think it was when you and I, Joel, talked after Double or Nothing, or it was All Out, where the kind of like the breather of the card was the Paul White match.
Yeah,
I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Here I don't see any breather match. I think all of them are going to be like hot from the start to finish. I can't really think about it.
There'll be one segment that they'll just drop in there just to have everybody be like, okay, let me go run to the restroom. Let me run to a concession real quick. Because I was thinking the same thing when I was watching Dynamite tonight. It was just bang, bang, bang. I was like, this is pretty
nonstop.
This is a pretty like great. Like we say it every time. Like I know people are probably like, you say it every time AEW has a pay-per-view, but it's just true. The card is incredible right now. You know what I mean? Like, just there's not one match that I'm like, there's maybe one that's like.
I mean, I have one that I just don't particularly care about. But
we were talking about before you started recording.
We could get to that.
Okay,
we could get to that when it comes up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I gotta know which match this is now.
Yeah, we get to it. Is it soon? No, we'll get to it eventually. So I'm with you. I've got the Jungle Boy winning, and then Adam Cole probably comes out the following week, saying it's always a fluke win, blah blah blah. That continues the feud, like singles competition, not like 6-man, but singles. Yeah. And he said, Matt, you got Adam Cole doing a dirty pin on Jungle Boy.
Yeah, I got Adam Cole winning against Jungle Boy. Somehow, some way, I think Bobby Fish is involved in that pin.
Oh yeah.
And then I think that kind of stems with probably Bobby Fish getting involved with Christian somehow, because Christian hasn't been on TV. So, I think they're trying to build some stuff around Bobby Fish and other people, because he always, ever since he's been in AEW, he's just been given match after match as a hit. So I think that's how it goes down.
I remember that one match. I think it was that was it the where he had like a nasty spill on his neck. The Young Bucks did a move to him when he hurt his neck and he was out for like a week or two. Christian Cage. I forgot, there was a spot where he like it was outside of the ring and then all of a sudden landed on his neck and then like he was out for like 2 weeks. He got taken out of the match.
Yeah, I can't remember which match it was, but I do remember hearing about it somewhere. But since that might be the case of why he's been kind of out of action for so long, I think what better way to bring him back into action by possibly him and Bobby Fish going at it, breaking away from this story. So
yeah,
exactly. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. Christian Cage's run has been incredible. I think he has between the two of the best friends, Edge and Christian, I think Christian's having a better run right now.
Oh yeah.
1,000%.
1,000%.
Come on. And I said the last pay-per-view for All Out, the match against Kenny, it really got overshadowed after the Bryan and Cole coming out, but that main event, incredible. But yeah, you could go on. I just needed to get that out there.
Yeah.
Let it be known.
Yeah. Rightfully
put
so.
Put some respect on Christian's name.
Oh, 100. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, same here. I still agree with that.
I watched Impact when it was TNA for many years, and Christian was the man, and I still think he's the
always
man,
was. Always was.
NWA champ, come on.
Oh yeah.
And he came back won Impact belts.
Yeah.
At what, 47? What was it, 47?
Pinned Omega.
Pinned
Omega.
Yeah.
That's something that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, for real.
I think that will happen this weekend, but we could talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get
we get into that one too. Yeah, for sure. Next match, the match that I kind of was not hyped for. Didn't expect to get this hype. CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston.
Oh.
Holy crap.
Oh
my God.
Man.
Yeah.
That promo last week on Rampage. Let's talk about that real quick. That promo, I did not think that it was going to lead to that big of like a match entering this pay-per-view. I honestly thought it was going to be like a go home type match. Like, oh, let's make this the main event of Rampage before Full Gear, kind of hyping up the pay-per-view type thing. But then we got it at Full Gear. I'm like, okay, this is kind of strange. And then that promo hit, and I'm like, oh man, now I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this one. Who do you got? Let's just go Joel, because Matt started the last one. What are your thoughts on this match, Joel?
This match I like the setup for it. I'm kind of getting the same vibe. I feel like this is the same storyline that Punk was in a couple years ago with Cena. The famous promo, "You are what you hate," the New York Yankees. And it's just Punk has taken the role of Cena. It is incredible to see. Kingston, of course, on the mic, incredible. People might not like his in-ring skills, but I think the dude is nasty in the ring. This match, to be honest, I have no idea who's gonna win, and frankly, I don't care. It's one of those matches that is just
let him
like,
fight. Let him fight.
Let him go at it. Let me be entertained, and whatever happens, happens. But if I had to choose, I would give Eddie Kingston this big win to be the first person to pin CM Punk in how many years? 8 years? 9 years?
Seven. I think it's 7 years.
Something like that.
7
the
years.
First person to pin him in 7 years, Eddie Kingston, and give him his first loss in AEW. I think that's a way, like, they've been building up Kingston. I love Kingston. He is the guy. I feel like this will only help him. You know what I mean? Like, whether he wins or loses, this match could only help him. And I think if he beats Punk, it would help him even more. So I got Kingston.
Yeah.
I got
when
Kingston.
when you said like let them go at it during the match, like I was thinking the same exact thing for the promo. Like just don't hold them back. Just let them go at it. I don't know why that was kind of weird.
Save it for the pay-per-view.
I'm like, I don't. It's
save
still
it for
gonna
the paying customer.
There should have been some sort of like no disqualification, but I guess they already have 2 on the card already, so it's like, no, let's not keep it like that.
But also, you gotta remember, card subject to change. We still got Rampage, and they could just announce something the day of.
Yeah,
that is true. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, it is.
AEW's like that. They're very spontaneous. That'll just be like, oh yeah, tonight it's a anywhere falls match. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, oh okay, this match. Okay, cool. All right, I'm down with it. Like you know what I mean? It's just they'll just announce it randomly and be like, okay, I'm down. Like I would never say no to a spontaneous change of a match.
I agree. I mean, everything Joel said in terms of this match is pretty spot on to my feelings of it. You know, I love CM Punk with all my heart. I think he was, you know, one of the greatest things in wrestling 7 years ago. I still think he's a great thing in wrestling, but the greatest, I don't know anymore. I was all aboard the hurrah train when he came back, and I was happy about that. But in terms of character and storytelling and things like that, you can only come out to your theme song and people chanting for so long, man. And like,
that is very true.
Yeah. After the third or fourth time, I was like, all right, like, okay, yeah, he's back. Cool. Like, what is he gonna do? And I think this is perfect because the way that I see the story kind of going is, yes, he's beating these guys, these good guys, I might add, but he's also kind of on his own high horse. I think he's coming out these promos talking about how all this young talent is great and he wants to work with them. But since he's come back, he really hasn't had anyone that's kind of on the same level, kind of butt heads with, until Eddie Kingston came back that one time. And that promo last Friday on Rampage really showed how much Eddie Kingston could really affect Punk. And Punk doesn't get affected that often. Only a few people have affected Punk in his career in terms of promos and backstage stuff and things. Like, he doesn't get affected pretty often in terms of anyone talking, just talking, not physical stuff, just talking in the ring. And what Eddie Kingston was able to do showed a side of Punk that many Punk fans did not like. People booed Punk last Friday. And I think that's what they want. And I think that's what's going to happen. Because, you know, Punk was the voice of the voiceless. And yes, the hoorah Punk's cool, but that's not really Punk. Punk was never the hoorah guy. People never, you know, sure, once in a while when he was the underdog and he came out in Chicago, certain pay-per-views and things like that, as the underdog for people of his own people, yes, he was that guy. But most of his career, he's not that guy. And I think this is the turning point, that he doesn't stay as that guy and he goes back and he becomes the heel and he gets the boos and he's doing the dirty Punk stuff he used to do before. So I say Eddie Kingston wins, and Eddie Kingston puts Punk in his place and to show him, yeah, you haven't come back in 7 years, but I've been still working my ass off this whole time. And this is what I got to prove you. While you've been off, I've improved myself and I'm better than you. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, as much as I love a heel Punk, I think he should have stayed the one everyone cheered for. I think it was because since his big return, I think him going up against these younger guys kind of like wasn't the smartest move. Like, yeah, he had a great match against Darby. And yeah, him against Team Taz, but like you needed to go up against the big guys first. Not the physically bigger guys, but the big names first to get those people out of the way. Because those are the matches that everyone wanted to see. And I feel like once he came back, I was like, okay, here's Punk, here's Punk, here's Punk. It's like every week he was doing something, like an interview, commentary, something unrelated to wrestling. Like, not like obviously he's in the wrestling business, but other than competing, he was doing everything around there. So it was like we saw Punk no matter if the story had nothing to do with him. And it was kind of like, okay, we get it. He's here. Let him do his thing. So I get why people are kind of like, this is enough of Punk already. Just let him compete. So I get why people would boo him. But I would prefer a heel Kingston and a babyface Punk. Because last week when Eddie Kingston came out for that promo, like he felt intimidating right then and there. The Tim's on, the sweatpants, and Nick's hoodie, that was like typical New York hustle. You know what I mean? when you see that person in New York, it's like, oh shit, someone's, you know what I mean?
He looks like the Spanish dude that hangs out in the bodega. That's what he looks like, and I love it.
Yeah, and that's what he grew up in the Bronx, right? I believe he grew up in the Bronx, so I feel like it kind of fits him to come out in like his own comfortable, it's intimidating. Like I said, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
So I feel like that Eddie Kingston is me personally, that's what I would want to see in this type of situation, AEW. Because for the past couple of months, we would see, oh, now he's with Mox. Now he's accompanying him. Everyone loves it. Now we see like the true heel Mox that we got when he first got to the scene in AEW. So I kind of hope something goes down. That's why I mentioned the no disqualification falls kind of anywhere. Maybe something would happen. I don't know. Maybe something could still happen, even though it's a regular one-on-one match. But I got Kingston. I think Kingston needs this more than Punk. Like you said, Joel, like I think he should be the one to hit the pin CM Punk first time in 7 years. That means a lot. Yep. That means a lot.
I think although Kingston, if he does win though, he doesn't necessarily have to be the babyface. He could still go on this tear and stay in this character, or I don't even think it's a character. I just think that's how he is.
Him,
yeah, he could stay how he is now. He doesn't have to be babyface after beating Punk. This could be because he's been in a lot of big matches since he's been in AEW. I mean, his first match was against was it against Cody or Darby for the TNT championship?
It was Cody, I believe.
Yeah, so his first match, he's been in big matches since his first match, and he hasn't got that big win. He's gotten big wins, but that was with Mox.
Yeah.
He never had any like giant singles wins that I can remember.
That is true. Yeah.
But I think even if he wins, he could still be how he is now. And that could be, this could be the light under his ass that he could become the TNT champion. Go some kind of pathway down to TNT championship right now. So I seriously think he has a good potential to win this match, and I personally I hope he does.
Yeah, it'll mean something for him. That's what I was thinking too. Like I think he should have won the TNT championship against Miro. I thought he should have been the one to take it off of him. Because he did have a great tear. He did have a great tear with when he first started with Mox. I think it was the last pay-per-view you were on, Revolution. He just started killing it from there. And I think he deserved the title at least, but he still has time for that. So I don't know, but I got Eddie.
And what you were saying, you just said it. You just said it a couple of seconds ago. It means more for Eddie than it means for Punk.
Yeah.
So I think that alone, Eddie should win.
That's true. Yeah. Yes.
I think this is the kickoff for Eddie's tear that he's gonna go on. I think.
For sure. This is it.
I think this is the perfect way to kick it off.
I hope so.
You got Punk. Who else? I don't know. Maybe he goes up against Christian.
Oh, maybe. He beats all the heroes.
Yeah.
And that's how he stays heel.
Yeah. All the big names.
Yeah. Punk. You could do people hate Cody now, but you could do Cody. All the heavy hitters. Moxley comes back later on down the road. When he comes back, you get him. You know what I mean? Like you just keep building up Kingston, Brian. You know what I mean? Like all the lovable people that people love to cheer for, he takes down.
Yeah. How about why don't he start with Punk, and then all the big matches he had and lost to, he now wins. He gets all those rematches.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets all those wins back.
There you go. That would be fun to watch.
And then in 2022, he's undefeated. Then he has a title opportunity down the line.
I hope so.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
No, that's a fact.
So I got Eddie.
This is good. This is gonna be the kickoff. I'm telling you, this is the kickoff.
Is the start to Eddie? Yeah, this is it for sure. Speaking of start to careers,
Hold up, I'll be right back. I have Fresh Direct coming. Hold on.
So another match, you mentioned the start of a career, but two superstars who basically had their rise in AEW, MJF and Darby Allin. Their one-on-one singles match happening at Full Gear. This feud.
Quick question: is this the match Matt was talking about?
No, we're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
I
just need to make sure because this match.
We're getting there. But we're not. It's not the one yet.
Just double check it. Just double check.
But this could be that same exact one that Matt was talking about before. Like I think this no disrespect to either one. Great feud, great promos against each other, but it's like, is this match really that necessary for either one of them right now to be having a feud against each other? Like, yeah, you can say they're the pillars of the company, you know, them doing their own thing.
I hate that word so much.
Yeah, like I don't know what that means. It's just like, that's what they call it.
The hand chosen.
Yeah,
the hand chosen.
Yeah. Like I still don't get, like, for me personally, like I don't know about you guys, but I still don't get the reason why like Sting is with Darby. I still don't know why.
Oh no, I couldn't tell you.
Like I still don't, like,
it's months. It's been months, and I can't tell you why.
It feels like I see this every single time, but it feels like
they both wear face paint. All right, guys, that's the reason.
It's like, it's almost feels like bring your father to work day. It's like, here's my dad. Here's doing, like, relax. Just let him do his own thing. That's why I don't like no disrespect to Sting. Like I love Sting, but it's like, it's Darby. Let Darby do his own thing. It's doesn't need to have Sting every single time he comes out to the ring.
I feel you. Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
I mean, I agree. I agree with your comment. No, yeah, you're not disrespecting Sting or Darby. Like, this is Darby. Darby was throwing himself off second balconies and like house shows and stuff. Like he doesn't need Sting to watch his back. So I understand where you're coming from.
But who needs this win more is the question that like kind of comes to my head, because like both of them are killing. Like I said, they're up and comers. No, not up and comers at this point, but they're both the pillars, I guess, of the company, who kind of need to get the boost of their career. Darby losing to CM Punk at All Out. MJF doing what the last few months with Inner Circle.
MJF has been killing it. That's what he's
doing. So like, who needs the win more? That's what I'm like thinking about. Like, if you were like down the line, this is the only match in the card. One opportunity to get them win.
I would have to say Darby needs this.
Yeah.
Darby needs it more. MJF is already solidified as one of the top guys in AEW right now, right? He's already one of the guys. Like they're already telling you he's a pillar, but he has shown that he's a pillar. You know what I mean? He's shown that he is one of the top guys, feuding with Cody, feuding with Jericho, being just one of the guys that draws money. You know what I mean? Like he draws views and ratings. He is one of the guys. He is one of the top guys there, and probably the top heel in the company.
In wrestling, not just in the company.
Maybe in wrestling, yeah. I know you want to talk about Roman Reigns and stuff, and The Miz, but he's up there. And he, like you said, he might be number one.
It's like, I don't know, because I feel like one loss can just instantly, because we all are seeing with this. What is it? Pinnacle? What is this group called? The Pinnacle?
Yeah.
That seems like it's going downhill. Like I don't know what's going on with that. Wardlow seems to be like not fucking with MJF anymore. FTR is doing their own thing. It's like,
now they're in a new group with Andrade. But I like how they tied it in, because they hadn't been with the Pinnacle in a while. But I like how they tied it in. I think it was last week with the money exchange.
That was cool.
It was nice that they tied it in. So it was like, okay, because for a while it was like, yo, they're not in the Pinnacle no more. We haven't seen them with MJF, Shawn Spears, Wardlow. We haven't seen them all together at once. But if you think about it, for a while we haven't seen Inner Circle together either.
Yeah.
So everybody's doing their own thing, but still a group. And I like that they don't always have to be
together.
Yeah.
It was crazy that at one point, I don't want to go like off topic, but like at one point the Inner Circle was supposed to break up, but then they kind of got back together, and now they're doing the thing, which we'll get to later. But then this one, the Pinnacle, is kind of like different. It's been like since that, I think it was Double or Nothing too. It's May. It's been like their own thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, are they still, because like you said, that MJF paying Andrade, like, here, thank you for giving the titles, but that's it. Tully is still with FTR, not with Shawn Spears. Wardlow's like separating a little bit. So like, what do you do?
I think it's cool that they're not always together, and not every week after week, seeing them together, coming out together, doing the same thing. I think it's refreshing to see that factions doing this.
Yeah. So who do you have, Matt Fanizza, winning the MJF versus Darby Allin?
From everything you said, I agree with. I do think, Darby's been taking some losses. He definitely needs the match more in terms of a big win. It just has no luck. Um, the whole thing with Sting is very questionable as well. Like no one really knows what Darby's doing after he lost that TNT championship. Everyone's kind of less been, I guess, or at least I don't know about everybody, but me personally, I'm just like, well, I don't know what Darby's been doing. He's not part of any tag team. He's not part of any faction. He's the outlier always. Kind of like Sting, but the thing is, Sting's not in title matches. Sting's not in the main card fighting every week or two. So, Darby, it's kind of like he needs that big win. But then also, like, if he loses, like, what? Who cares? Like, that's the main thing. Also, like, Darby's been losing, but no one's really been caring if Darby's been losing. People still like Darby when he comes out. I think actually MJF might need this win more because he's the only one that's kind of been talking a lot in the promos, talking down on Darby and things like that. And in terms of himself and the character and the story he's built up, I feel like MJF needs to win this. Otherwise, he was just all talk and he didn't kind of provide that execution he said he was going to provide. And also like, MJF's a serious contender for the AEW title. So, another win at a pay-per-view against Darby Allin, a former TNT title holder. I think MJF kind of wins this match against Darby Allin just because I feel like he needs it more. And a loss to him would be more impactful than a loss to Darby. Because like I said, like I don't know what's going on with Darby, but although Darby's been losing, it doesn't seem like too many people care.
Yeah, that is true.
The question that always it's kind of on the back of my mind is like, what is this going to lead to? Like, whoever wins, what's going to happen to the winner? They're going to go for a title shot now. They're going to get like something out of this. Because I don't see it being like, oh, one of the wins and then I'll do something like random, like another person.
Yeah, it can't be a direct title shot because they have to wait after the winner of Miro, Bryan Danielson. But I do think whoever wins will get a shot after that kind of contenders match or whatever, however that title match ends up. But as you were saying before, with the whole Pinnacle breaking up in Wardlow and Shawn Spears and MJF, I do believe there might be something with Sting. He might get in the mind of Wardlow and turn against MJF after this match. Like,
maybe.
There's a lot of possibilities to after the match, but for the match itself, I do think MJF comes with a win.
Maybe it could happen. I feel like at some points at one of these matches, something might happen at the end. I don't know. Maybe there will be a heel turn, like you said. A Wardlow turns on them. Maybe it's Tully. Maybe it's Shawn Spears. Maybe it's something like we're not expecting. Because they're actually the type of company that, like, the shock factor. Like maybe Shawn Spears, he goes by himself. Maybe he does like his own thing, and then Wardlow's the one that stays. Who knows? I'm just coming up with the random thoughts in my head.
It's like with AEW, for some reason the possibilities are endless, so you can never know what's gonna happen. I feel after this feud, one of them is gonna be in the world title picture, and one of them is gonna be in the TNT title picture.
Oh, for sure.
Both of them are going to end up in a title picture, just not sure who, because you can always put, everybody wants to see MJF fight for the world title, but also would you put Darby back in the TNT picture?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too. Like, where would you end them up after?
Yeah, would you let MJF build up and finally win a title in AEW and get the TNT title? You know what I mean? There's so many things you can do with the both of them.
Yeah, it's like the future of the company, and like all he's done was won like a diamond ring, and that's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's like you say before, like he's had like big matches against big names, but it's like that already happened. Now he's like Darby Allin. Does he go to somebody else, like a Danielson or somebody or Moxley? Who knows?
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like he's had all these big wins and these big matches and things like that. I think he has the least losses, I think, out of everyone in the company. He might be in the top 3 with that category, but like, just because of that factor and who he's beaten before this match with Darby, I think if he loses, that's a bigger hit to MJF than it is to Darby. So
yeah, definitely.
So we all got MJF here for the win.
I'm gonna say MJF.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah. Really. So speaking of the Pinnacle, FTR going up against the AAA, the new AAA World Tag Team Champions, FTR, going up against Lucha Brothers for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. This is exciting. I actually kind of like this feud. I think it's because of the fact that MJF had something to do with this, which is what kind of got me into it in the first place. Because it's like the whole Lucha thing is like we're the best Lucha brother, like Lucha, whatever tag team. All of a sudden, it's just FTR, which kind of got me like a little bit of like confusion at first. I'm like, what? Didn't make sense, but it's like, okay, I kind of know the reason why. Matt, who do you have winning this match? What are your thoughts on this match with FTR and Lucha Brothers?
I definitely think the storyline between the two, as Joel was saying before, with the whole money exchange and Alondra Idolo and things like that, that was definitely a good kind of tie-in to bring the two different factions together and things like that. It makes you, it makes you kind of like question how much Alondre's been in there and everything. It's everything that's transpired to this match just kind of just makes you question like who's been working behind the scenes, kind of setting this up. In terms of the match itself, I really do not know who's going to come out with a win. I don't know the stipulation if people can be on ringside or not. But I definitely think there's people that will interfere in some vicinity. I mean, FTR won the Triple A titles because of interference, I think.
Yeah,
it was Tully was there. Actually, no, Tully gave him the title and he hit Ray Phoenix while Ray Phoenix was doing him. So that was some kind of interference. But in terms of this match, I think I want to go with the Lucha Bros just because I feel like their tag team reign so far, it's been good, but it hasn't been that great. And I feel like they still got a lot to prove. And I feel like taking the belts away from them this early is a bit of a disservice. Yeah. So I definitely, I would rather they lose the belts to Santana and Ortiz than to FTR.
There you go. Gotcha. Yeah. Because I don't want to say gave it away, but like once they gave the AAA belts to FTR, it's like, okay, now it's kind of like more believable who's winning this match. It kind of gave it away for a little bit to me. If they didn't win it, then I'll probably be like, okay, now it's like up in the air kind of thing. Like FTR can still win it, it's going to be a great match regardless, but like who's going to win it? Well, and now they each have titles, so it's basically like a win-win.
It's the situation. It's the same thing when Kenny lost Christian. He lost the Impact belt right before, and they had the big match for the title. And you kind of just like, does Kenny lose twice? I don't think so. So I don't think the Lucha Bros are going to lose twice.
Yeah, because Christian had a title, and it's like if he loses it all out, he still has a title going on Impact.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now you have FTR. If they lose, they still got the AAA belts going over to Mexico and competing there.
Exactly.
But they still, it's not a bad situation for them.
But in terms of a finish, though, I could tell you, I have pretty strong belief that it might be similar to how FTR won the AAA titles, but the Lucha Bros would be like, not this time, and they'll kind of reverse it somehow, and they'll win. I guarantee something like that will happen.
Or a plot twist, Andrade gives the belts to Lucha Bros to help them win against FTR. You're not gonna see it coming.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. I think FTR is gonna take the belts off. I think they're gonna be the ones to take the belts off of them, but I don't think that's quick. Like Matt was saying, haven't been the best title run for them, but I think they could still turn it around. And I think, like I said, FTR is gonna take it off of them, just not yet.
I think they should be given a run similar to when the Young Bucks had it, to where like at first it was like going up against these other tag teams at first, giving a shot on Dynamite here and there, and then have big feuds and being big storylines. So I think they should. I mean, glad that FTR is their first title defense, but it's like I mean, not first title defense. I think they had a few on Rampage, but first big one that actually had a storyline to it. And then, they should go to like maybe next one of those special Dynamite episodes that they have on there, like go up against another tag team, like one of the up and comers or the new tag teams. They have plenty of tag teams to go up against because,
like Matt said, Santana or Ortiz, I still don't know how they haven't been champions yet. But
I don't even remember the last time they got
in due time
opportunity. Yeah, I don't even remember the last time they had an opportunity for the belts.
The last time was against the Bucks, and there was still not a crowd yet.
Actually,
there was a little bit of a crowd because there was actually a pop when they almost won. It was still when it was limited. It was still in Jacksonville. It was limited crowd.
Was it like early this year or like early 2020?
I can't remember right now.
Whatever it is, it's a disservice to Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah, that should have been the time they took it off the Bucks.
Yeah. I mean,
then we should have got Santana Ortiz versus the Lucha Bros at All Out.
I thought that was gonna happen at a Grand Slam. That should have happened at Grand Slam. Even if Santana Ortiz didn't win it, like that's a Grand Slam type of match.
Yeah.
But I got Lucha, but I agree with both of you. I mean, I think it's way too soon to begin titles. I don't think they don't have any plans anytime soon to drop them. They're probably gonna have some sort of like maybe like, I don't know, packing somebody else, go for the titles 1 week because it kind of like makes. I still feel that Andrade is gonna form with them. Kind of, I still think they're gonna be like a trios team, Lucha Bros and Andrade. Because the LWO, modern LWO, I think that's happening. I think it's happening.
Same. It'll happen down the road.
Yeah. I still think it's happening. Because there's no way you're going to have his first big feud in AEW with Lucha Bros and not doing anything with it like that.
Exactly.
So I think it's going to happen down the line. Maybe at Full Gear. I don't know. But I hope it happens soon. I kind of want to see that.
You never know.
And then you have... because I forgot something to Vegas on WWE again. I was going to say have them go be the manager. But then, of course, you can't do that.
Actually, did you hear that FTR is actually going to be in Mexico with Vicky Guerrero as their manager?
Yeah. Vicky Guerrero is going to be managing them in Mexico. Matt does not know that.
I did not hear that.
Guerrero, Mexico. Why not?
Is Chavo going to come out?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, that's like, does FTR are their belts on the line in that match? Do you know?
I think it's just the AEW ones. I don't think it's.
Yeah, it's just the AEW.
Yeah,
but I'm saying in Mexico, are their belts going to be on the line?
I think they're going to be like recurring. I think they're going.
Yeah,
out
I think
there.
it's.
They just said they're going to be performing in Mexico and Vicky's
okay. So then
manager.
that alone makes me just feel like they can't have the AEW belts then if they're going to be in Mexico because they got to be on TV. There's got to be TV times. There'll be too many conflicts.
Exactly.
We barely see those AAA belts in AEW to begin with. So I don't think they're going to bring over the AEW belt over to AAA.
Yeah, definitely not.
Even though I did like that they brought one of the teams over. What was it? 2 weeks ago? Last week?
It was Kalisto. Kalisto.
Yeah,
Kalisto.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's a throwback.
Yeah. Super. Then now they can reunite in AEW. Who knows? Or AAA because now all three of them are gone from WWE.
Yep.
Lucha House Party.
AAA is the place.
Exactly. So like I said, the Lucha Brothers are definitely not losing them anytime soon.
I think we all got Lucha Bros.
Yeah, all Lucha.
Now, Matt. Now we can get to the match that you do not want to talk about.
What's the match?
The Minneapolis Street Fight, the Inner Circle versus the American Top Team.
We could just run through this. Yeah, the same way.
Inner Circle winning. I don't care.
Inner Circle.
I'd say
they haven't made me care about it.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, I say Inner Circle wins by like, I don't know, throwing Dan Lambert in like, I don't know, trash can or something and like closing the lid and that's it. Like
closing the lid.
Yeah, like I just don't. I just like this kind of stuff. It's like there's fans that enjoy the crossovers and things like that. When
it's cool, but it would have been cool if they did it sporadically and not every week.
It would have been cool if there was some kind of build up with it. I think it would have been cooler if they introduced a fighter each week, and they were like,
Yeah.
each week a new person came out instead of all at the same time.
Yeah.
Kind of building that whole team up, because like when they all came out once, a lot of people
don't know who they are.
Exactly.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I did not know any of them, because at Grand Slam, when that guy with, I don't know, I still don't know his name.
Masvidal.
Yeah, when he came out, I'm like, I still don't know who that guy is. Like, I don't know who that guy is. And apparently, it's a big deal in MMA, but like, I don't know who that guy is.
Exactly. Yeah, you just gotta build them up, and
yeah, and that's not saying like or we're not saying that them coming here they're not big. Like they're big in their own promotion, and like people that are into that stuff are big. But when it comes to people that at least bring my own personal taste and things like that, I just never enjoy the crossover things. To me, I just feel like it's that's where like the balance of like believability kind of just like is. But to me, it's like.
I guess in their defense, they were not ashamed to wrestling. Weren't they on Impact a couple years ago? From what I remember.
Some of them.
Yeah, some of them. I don't know. I don't know if they're the same people as that, but I remember Dan Lambert.
I think it was a whole different team. That was when the whole Rampage was running through Impact, and then it was him and Bobby. Yeah,
Bobby.
Different thing. But I think that what they did wrong was treating them like again, everybody knew them. They treated them like they were just wrestlers jumping ship to another. Like wrestlers that show up, you don't need to explain. Like FTR, Malachi Black, Andrade. You don't need to introduce and have like a whole bio and tell who they are. But they treated these like the same way. And I think that's where they messed up.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think it will still be entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm just not.
I think so.
Not sold on it.
Inner Circle is always great in these type of matches, so I know it's going to be a great entertaining match, but it's like,
definitely.
I think like I'm not too invested as they're making it seem.
Yeah, I just don't see any kind of like epilogue afterwards. Like to me,
it's going to be a one and done.
It's a one-off kind of thing, and like it's just like when it's those one-off kind of things, it's really hard for me to get invested because, like you said, actually no. If it was a one and done kind of thing done right with the build up, then I would be more invested. But to your point, Joel, like I feel like it was just when Excalibur has to say a lot when they're showing faces and there's like 5 people on screen, that's how you know, like, guys, we kind of rushed into this. There should have been maybe 1 or 2 kind of people, like, and I feel like a lot of people still don't know who the heck
like for me, like, every time they came out, it's like I don't really follow MMA. So every time they came out, I'm like, is that a different person or is that the same guy from last week?
Yeah.
Like, who is
unless you follow, but and even then, because there's UFC guys and there's also Bellator guys. You know what I mean? So you have to follow everything. Then the girl Paige does bare knuckle, like so. Yeah, it's like you just gotta know MMA in a whole.
Yeah, it's just a lot of cross promotion for this one match, and it's just kind of like to me it was just like, come on, Jericho taking on these fighters, like, come on.
Now Dan Lambert's fighting in it, and it's like,
why? That's the point though. Like they needed Dan Lambert to like be that kind of punching bag, because Jericho against anyone else, no one, like, come on, really? Junior Dos Santos against Jericho? Like, come on. Like I'm not gonna believe that for an instant, but Inner Circle wins, and that's it. I feel like
I'm just curious to see what Dan Lambert's gonna do. Like I don't think he's gonna do too much. Yeah,
table 100%.
He may have like one spot where like you said, throw it to the table, then he's like out for a while.
Yeah, he's
like towards the end, he like gets the pin.
I say if it's a street fight, he'll probably take a couple tables, or take something where a high fall, and they kind of have like those pads underneath, and it's like
like off the stage or something.
Yeah, something like that. And
they're probably like embarrass him or something. Like
write him off. That's it.
Yeah,
write him. Please write him. Please.
For the love of God, write him off. For the love of God.
Yeah.
So we all got Inner Circle. That's like pretty much self-explanatory for this one. Next match, Women's Championship match. Britt Baker, DMD, got the finger thing, versus Ty Conti.
DMD.
I feel like this is also like, no disrespect to Ty Conti. I love Ty Conti. She's killing it. But it's like, I think this is also kind of like a like I don't want to say it, but like a stepping stone to her next feud. Like, oh, she's done with Ty Conti, now next person. Who is gonna be?
To be honest,
like a filler match. I think it's gonna be a filler.
I think that's what it's gonna be. Yeah, I think Britt is holding this belt for a while.
She should have done, like, I feel like, because we mentioned the TBS belt before as well, like during we paused. Like I personally feel like, and I hope it doesn't happen, that whenever this TBS championship comes along, I hope it does not shadow over the women's championship, the main belt, because
no, I don't think it will. I don't think
we talked about, like, most of the people who are involved are main women's championship level competitors because they have no one else. It's technically their mid card belt, but they're using their top people.
Well, it's just to get more women on TV. I feel.
Yeah, I think
it's just to get them more of a spotlight. Instead of doing a tag division, they
should have done that.
Let's do another. I think they saw what women's tag division, what happens in women's tag divisions, and they say, let's not do that. Let's not do
that.
But
the thing is, they're not them, so they could do everything right.
But also, they don't really have a lot of tag teams. They would just have to create out of thin air.
I mean, they have Anna and Ty Conti. They have the two people with Britt Baker. They also have Bunny and other girl putting up forward. They could create more, put two random people together. It makes sense. Doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
Because they know how to book it right. So.
Yeah. I guess if you have the right story, you can do it. But I think this was just a way for them to be to like make themselves different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then if they did make a tag division, then it would be like, of course. They made a tag division right after WWE made a tag. You know what I mean? So I think they just wanted to be different. Said, hey, let's do this. Let's make a second women's title that gets women more on TV, but also means something.
Yeah. I think so too. Maybe. Because I just hope, like I said, like I don't want to make it seem like a stepping stone, like a filler match, but it probably is going to be that match for her. I'm just hoping who's going to be the next challenger is that question too. Because if they're all competing for the tournament, it's like who's next, who's done.
It's kind of it's interesting. You
I
say
guess
that.
The loser of the tournament, right?
Yeah, like I guess
you get the other belt opportunity, so you're still winning something.
Yeah. Maybe the standings kind of are similar to the TNT one, where like number one is like how the men's it's like number one on the contenders gets like the AEW shot, and then number two gets the TNT. So like maybe this might be the women's and the TBS. But I agree though, like it does raise some questions about which belt kind of gets the prestige, because at the end of the day, it's kind of like if all these, women competitors are going after TBS belt, and then they're going for the women's main belt, it's just like, what's differentiating the two then? If like both top talent are going for both belt, like I don't know how to properly word it. Regardless,
you don't want to lose track of which is the top women's
exactly.
belt.
Exactly.
Because when the TNT championship started, it kind of outshine. I don't want to say outshine, but it was the most talked about thing for a while.
Yeah.
But now the AEW World Championship is like the more important storylines. How the TNT is just there for people to win, get people developed and stuff like that. So I get also it could help the women's division in a way, because maybe they may treat it the same exact way where they give people opportunity here and there. People outside of the company may come through, challenge whoever wins it, who's the champion, and then maybe who knows. That's why I'm concerned that it might overshadow, because people want to. They may want to win that championship with the women's one. That may be the bigger championship between the two.
It's good. Yeah, it's going to be tough because you'll have some people that are just, if it's not distinguished properly, some people would just be like, why do I have to care enough about the TBS title in a way? If the women's one's the main, like you just have to see how it plays out and kind of the reception towards it, because right now we don't have a TBS champion, so we can't really speak too much on how things will become in terms of challenge, because we know nothing. We just saw the belt and they have a tournament, so like we don't know how well it's going to go off and what other plans they have in the future. They might have a lot more talent also in the works with all these releases happening. So like you just don't know. But in terms of this match, I I definitely do believe, Britt's holding that Britt Baker DMD is holding that title. Ty Conti is definitely on a tear right now. I did like this. I did like the story development today, though. That
that was a great match. Great match.
Oh yeah, that was a great 6-man tag match. But definitely, Ty Conti definitely put some fear in Britt Baker's face, and you saw that. And I think it made Britt realize that it's either she's kind of got to step her game up, or like there's people out there that could really take her down, because she's been kind of comfortable in her situation for a long time. So I think she wins at Full Gear this weekend, but I definitely think it's a turning point to where she's so close to losing that she realizes that she could possibly lose, and I think from there she kind of like the next challenger, whoever that may be, comes and possibly takes the belt from her. But this weekend, I definitely think she wins.
Yeah, well, one challenger that I have in mind, it may be too far fetched, but I think it might be Deonna Purrazzo. I'm hoping.
That'd be dope.
I think it'll be a cool, like, unexpected moment there to have her show up and challenge. Like, oh, I'm no longer knockout champ. I can come over here and win your belt. So it's pretty cool. She also is a AAA Women's Champion, so she has a belt right there. So I think it'll be cool if she challenges for the AEW Women's Championship now.
Yeah, that would be dope. I would like that match.
Yeah. So we all got Dr. Britt Baker. Simple win.
Easily.
All right, perfect.
Correct.
Next match, the AEW tournament, World Championship tournament, Eliminator. I don't know what it's called.
You want to talk about this? You really want
I
to
do. I do.
Want to talk about this?
I love this match.
I feel like this is easy.
Miro versus Daniel Bryan.
I feel like this is an easy win.
Then you started off, Joel.
Yeah, you started off, Joel.
Bryan Danielson versus Miro. Miro.
Yeah, what if I was doing the same way.
Question about it. The man is
speaking of people who are on a tear,
this is the title, guy. Right? Yeah, he lost the TNT title. Now he's looking for redemption.
He's the redeemer for a reason.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great match. It's gonna be back and forth because Bryan, he's gonna do his thing. But it's Miro time.
It's Miro time. It's Miro day. It's Miro day.
Miro time.
He's one of my favorite. Like since like the whole bunch of releases happened last year, I think he's like my favorite one to leave and like.
Oh yeah, facts.
To have a big moment.
The best. He's been doing the best.
Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. When he first came in, I was a little skeptical with this whole best man gimmick, but I understand that was a tough time for the company, so obviously they just had to fit him in, and he couldn't be the redeemer with no crowd and everything going on at that point in time. Like he just couldn't be the redeemer at that point in time. So like I feel like this was definitely it was a long time coming, but I agree with Joel though. I think Miro wins. It'll be a great match, but you have to also think in the future. If Bryan wins, that means he faces Hangman or Paige,
or Omega.
Yeah, I just think the way that the main event looks, you need a heel to go for the belt next.
Yeah,
that's just my.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And
it's cool seeing the babyface versus babyface, but
yeah, and I definitely think Bryan, even he doesn't win against Miro and then he wins the title, like that would just turn too many stones. People would just riot. Like people would not be happy with that. If he some people might like that, but I just don't think that will be the case. So I definitely think Miro comes in and it's a great match. And Bryan Danielson losing to Miro is not a knock on Bryan Danielson whatsoever. The dude's
it's Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, it's Bryan Danielson.
Like they're both.
Again, it's Miro.
Yeah, they're both. I mean? Yeah, they're both the beast. Like, Miro. Miro beating Bryan Danielson does not hinder him at all. Like, if that's his first loss in AEW, that is a strong first loss.
Yeah.
So I definitely think Miro wins.
Unless you take my brother's prediction, which is, this opens the show. Brian wins and then puts himself in the main event. I said, why is it always gonna be a triple threat match? He said that's the way that they
did it for Mania that year.
Bad for Hangman, and Brian beats Omega, and then Hangman becomes that guy that just almost always got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, please, I hope
it's the same way he did it with Mania that we were.
Yeah, I would be so tight.
That would make me sick.
It is a way.
He's always like you said, he's always finding ways to get to these big matches, and it'll be like I would understand that.
Yeah, it is a way for you to feel more bad for, like, feel the sympathy for.
Yeah, so I didn't think about that at first. I didn't think
really
about that.
Don't want. He said it, and I said, "Why would you even put that in the air? Like, why would you even put that into?"
Next time you think it's something like that, don't say it. Don't say it.
I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Because
I think it's Miro, man. He's on a tear. The way he looks incredible. He's beating everybody the way, like, he's just dominating.
Yeah.
And like Matt said, like, a loss to Miro isn't a knock. Like, he's just he's on a run right now.
Yeah, the way I see it, it's like let's say if like Danielson won and like he goes up against one of the Hangman or Omega, it probably would have most likely happened on like a random episode of Dynamite, like a few weeks down the line. And then do you really want Danielson? I don't think he was gonna win it if he wins this match on Saturday. I don't think he's gonna win the title. But like but you really want like him to go up against Omega again and lose.
Exactly.
Or Paige and then lose again. Yeah. Like if you want, like, let's say if you want like Omega, even Omega, heel against heel against Miro against Paige, would you like great first title defense for Hangman if he does win the title. So I think that would be great for him, both guys. Like I'm not expecting Miro to win the title anyway either. So it's like it's not gonna be a big loss for him if he loses the championship.
I think if Miro wins, whoever wins is gonna feud with Paige or Omega.
Obviously,
they're gonna feud with them until Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be one of those feuds.
But you still got Revolution in between.
No, it's gonna go longer than that. Trust
me.
I think that because it's still November. I think they won't mention the number one contender until the new year. Mm-hmm. I think they'll kick it off on TBS. I think they'll have the champion open up the new year on the new channel, and then that's when the number one contender will come out and be like, "Yo, don't forget, number one contender."
Don't also like.
I don't think it'll be right away. I don't think it'll be right away.
I think they might, and I think it will be the first show on TBS probably. They might hold it off till then. That it might be the championship, and also that serves good marketing purposes for AEW, because they could have a whole month of promotion saying TBS this date so people know, because remember it's 2+ years now that people are so used to this schedule, so they got to do something to people to remind it. But like think of.
But what if? So I don't mean to cut you off, Matt. No, but like, what if like their ideal plans have like you have Omega, the champion, the guy that everyone knows, plus Bryan Danielson, the guy. If you're just a wrestling fan, you know him from WWE. Might as well have them at the first paper. What if the first show on TBS is the match for the championship? You're gonna want to have two built-up names already, like Danielson and Omega. So who knows?
That is true.
That is true, but there could be a different storyline where the two of them, or they're in separate storylines, and they could still kind of take precedent and be on top of that card.
Yeah.
But thinking ahead of like the possibilities, like if it is hypothetically Miro versus Hangman for the title in the new TBS era, the vignettes and the promos of like Miro talking about like Hangman's like sins and things like it just works so well with the Redeemer character. So like I definitely think there's so much here that is very important in terms of the next era of AEW on TBS. So like it's regardless of who wins, like it's definitely a decision behind those doors. It's a decision behind those doors where they're like, all right, this match is going to pretty much like determine like how we're marketing until the next stage of our company.
Yeah, I guess we could still tie that into the main event, the World Championship match. I mean, we already talked about that anyways. Omega versus Paige. I really want Paige to win.
Finally.
You with me this entire episode.
It's been how long? 2 years, 2.5 years. We've been waiting.
Like now you got me thinking, because when he said before, like, oh, he's like the type of guy to like just never goes his way, and then that whole momentum keeps on with him. I don't know.
It's the whole Tommy Dreamer aspect when Tommy Dreamer was in ECW.
Yeah.
That's right. The only reason he beat Raven was because Raven jumped ship to WCW. If not, the whole storyline would have been he was this close to being Raven. He was this close to being world champion, but he never got it. You know what I mean?
I kind of think that the Elite might get involved with this. I kind of feel like that might. Yeah, they definitely will.
But Dark Order, you gotta remember.
Yes,
that's true. That's also very true.
And not they have the advantage of everything, because Dark Order is like what, 7 people more than compared to 4, 5. So it pretty much evens
out. The Elite too. Yeah, it's an even playing field. If you got the Good Brothers.
I don't know if the Good Brothers.
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning.
That is true,
because their Impact partnership is no longer a thing. So I don't know if the Good Brothers. We haven't
seen them in a while.
So you just have Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish, Cole, the Bucks, and what's his dude's name?
Cutler.
Nakazawa.
Nakazawa, sick.
It
and then
evens out.
But then he also got Jurassic Express and then Christian Cage on Paige's side now.
I mean, yes to all this, but like I just wanted Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega.
I need a one.
Yeah, there can't be any distractions or outside interference.
But in terms of who wins, I agree with both of you. Like, I need Hangman to win this match. 2 years long-term storytelling of the two.
Yep.
There's got to be some kind of like payoff. The crowd when he came back as the Joker, like, dude, that crowd popped off. And
like Matt said, this is the next step, the new era, the TBS era.
Yeah,
let me change.
Let me ask you this though. I saw this on Twitter. It's like, do you feel like this is like a not an important moment for Paige now because he had that time off, or do you feel like it's still like he has the momentum that he always had?
I think he has the momentum.
I still think he has the momentum. I think he might have more momentum now because even with that time off, the way he's come back and it's kind of been like dead set on winning that championship. There hasn't been any distractions at all. Like before his time off, he was there, but there were some distractions. But every time he's been on TV in a match or something like that, he's dead set. Like he's even at the contract signed tonight on Wednesday, it was like dead set. Like, he just
And like Matt said, when he came back at the Casino Battle Royal, the pop, he still has the momentum. Got the people behind him.
That crowd's there. I definitely think there's other things behind the scenes too, where I'm just like, Kenny hasn't had time off in such a long time.
Yeah.
He has a lot of physical ailments that he needs help with, like his shoulder, his elbow, whatever it is. He's constantly getting like heat therapy on his back, and I think outside of the wrestling ring, he also needs time off to recover, because I do believe there's a lot of times in matches where he was wrestling hurt, and that's why there were like big 6-man tag matches, so he didn't have to put too much work in. So to me, that's also my decision on leaning why Hangman could win, because I definitely think Kenny deserves some needed time off out of the ring.
For sure. I think this entire year he's done everything in wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's been like all over the place. Outside of WWE, you see him everywhere.
This has been one of the top years for him, even though, like, of course, he had that 1 year that he was running rampant in New Japan.
Yeah.
But this is on a weekly basis now. New Japan was every couple weeks.
Yeah.
This is every week he's on TV. He's killing it. Every match he puts on,
and
he's killing it.
And the thing is, like, if he does lose and he does take some time off, AEW has such a roster right now where Kenny Omega taking time off for 2 to 3 months is not going to hinder his appearance, not going to hinder anything, because and it won't hinder the product that they put out, because there's been times where he hasn't wrestled at all and he's just been in a promo backstage, or he hasn't even showed up on TV.
Yeah.
And, they had great shows. So I definitely think if he does go and take some time off, things will be full sail ahead, no problems.
Yep. And then it'll be even better when he comes back.
Exactly.
And then that feud continues. That feud continues with him and Paige.
Yeah, definitely.
Continue on from there.
Yeah. It could continue. It could be a bunch of things, depending on the state of the elite at that time too, and there'd be so much there. But in terms of this match, I think I speak for a lot of AEW fans. Cowboy shit. That's what we want.
Cowboy shit. Yeah, that is true. We got all Heyman and Paige here.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that was the last match of the card.
Yeah.
So we can wrap it up.
There's one more, but it should be on Rampage. It's the Pac and Cody Rhodes versus.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know about
Rampage.
that. Yeah.
I don't think it should have been a pay-per-view match.
Yeah,
they just announced it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That should, like you said, that should have been the
I'll tell you right now, Andrade and Malachi. There,
Andrade and Malachi.
I agree.
Spoiler. Sorry.
Yeah, spoilers on that. I agree. The tag team of Pac and Cody together is weird for me.
Yeah,
it's so weird for me. And Cody coming out of the crowd for that run out put a bad taste in my mouth.
Concession stand? What was
he was getting a
Gorillas backstage. We know you just be chilling behind backstage.
That alone made me want to lose. So I want Pac and Cody to lose.
The worst is they had Arn Anderson chasing him down the stairs mad slow.
He's at a Glock. He's pointing his Glock at him. He's like, "Yo, go!"
What are you doing, man? This guy hasn't done this since 1985. Why? Let the man come through the entrance ring. Why is he even coming out
at all?
Yeah. Why is he coming out in the first place?
He's by the time he's down there, the whole show's over.
Who is he gonna spine bust? Malachi Black? It makes no sense to me.
Alex Abrahantes.
Yeah, right. But I forgot that was even a match. Good call, Joel.
Yeah, good call. Yeah. But
because I thought that was the match you were talking about. You were like, I'm not really looking forward to it.
No. But that speaks alone to how much people would care about the match, though, because
not saying that it wouldn't be a good match, because everybody in that match is incredible, but I'm not here for it on the pay-per-view.
I think it's more or less we have this talent match and we want them on the pay-per-view, so here they are.
Might as well.
That's what it is.
It's been going on for months.
You wanted a breather match? There you go. And it's not even that much of a breather match.
It's probably gonna be the second match of the night, probably. Watch.
Yeah.
Get it over with.
Yeah, for real. So I guess we can wrap it up there. Thank you, Matt Fanizza, again for coming on our podcast. Yes, always a pleasure having you on, talking about AEW.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on here for the pay-per-views.
Definitely.
I watch AEW every week. Rampage every week. I do wish they changed the Rampage time, though. It's a little late for me.
Yeah, the Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday nights. I'm
Thursday night. I'm fine with Thursday night.
There's nothing Thursday.
It kills me because Friday night I want to be chilling. I don't want to
exactly.
But anyways,
it's the product that got me in front of the TV.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Guys, definitely. Thanks for having me on. I'm looking forward to this pay-per-view.
Yeah, same here. So, for everyone listening, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. Give this episode a like. Follow us on all platforms. That has been episode 57 of the Ring Fanatics Podcast. Nick, Joel, and Matt, and we'll see you guys next time.